Hello everyone, Fanta here. You're watching FANTAVISION, and today I am discussing how Bethesda's just become a joke. And that makes me really sad because we've seen a lot of these companies go from just something that made the games that we loved to these money-hungry, greedy corporations that all follow EA and Activision and all those type of companies. I mean, EA used to be a decent-ish company. I don't remember it being that bad back during like the PS2, GameCube, Xbox era. 360 era is where they really started picking up steam as just a shitty corporation shutting down a bunch of beloved companies and developers that made very unique games. I mean, Dead Space, you got Bullfrog Studios, you got the people that made the Dungeon game. Just so many great creative minds put out of a job because for some reason this greedy corporation decided to buy them up and then throw them by the wayside when they felt like, oh, you're not making all of the money, so we don't want you anymore. And I know it's weird to see all of these companies just twist like this. And I know Bethesda hasn't bought up a lot of different companies and completely cut them out, but watching Bethesda go from a game studio to just a cold-hearted publisher that is now just trying to monetize every single aspect of their games. They're putting in these stupid things like logging into an account for a game that was made in the 90s, having technical issues with a game that was made in the 90s on the Switch. I mean, this is ridiculous. Now, this whole Bethesda account thing has been changed, I guess. They've removed that you have to log in. Now it's an option. Supposedly it was just to get rewards in this thing they call the Slayers Club, so you get rewarded for playing the old Doom games. I don't know. I'm glad that they patched it out, and it's kind of ridiculous that you see this screen that says you are required to be online and sign in before you play this game from the 90s. I mean, that's crazy. Why wouldn't they think of that before they launch the game? I know a lot of people could be, oh, Fanta's not a big deal. It's just logging into something and then you're done. But the fact that they didn't think that people would be upset by this it just shows where their mindset is. It shows that they're not really thinking in that customer or the gamer mindset anymore. They're thinking in the corporate business mindset. How can we constantly be connected to these players? How can we constantly make sure that they're integrated into our infrastructure? And that's exactly what Todd Howard talks about in one of his interviews when he's talking about Fallout 76. Is he almost sounds sad about how many people still play Skyrim. He sounds really sad about it because they don't have enough touch points. They can't keep interacting with the customers. And interacting in touch points means shoving microtransactions down your throat, constantly coming out with new things for you to buy, and trying to just constantly bombard you with new things to purchase. And with Skyrim, because they built that game to be a video game and that's it, besides, of course, the expansions and stuff like that, back when video games just had expansions and that's it, They couldn't do that. They couldn't just all of a sudden put some system in place to start charging people money. Of course, they did that with the Creation Club in Fallout 4. I don't remember if they did anything like that with Skyrim. I don't think they did. But the fact that... I think they had paid mods at one point for Skyrim, but that was a PC thing. So they've tried. They've really tried to monetize it as best they could. And they try to monetize everything possible. And now they've done that with Wolfenstein. They have put microtransactions and a campaign. I mean, yes, you can technically play online, but it's mostly a single player / co-op experience. And now there are microtransactions out the ass. And what's weird is that they differ from system to system. Like the PC, you can only buy the boosters or whatever. Whenever there's boosters in a game, you already know they've fucked up the game. There's boosters in the game you can buy with only in-game currency on the PC. But on consoles, PS4, you can use the gold bricks, which is the premium currency. Because, of course, there's multiple currencies in a video game that you have purchased. Because, of course, you can't just buy a game nowadays. You have to buy a game, and then you have to try to ignore all of the extra bullshit that they put in the game that are player choices for you to buy. It's so sad to me. I'm like... apparent to Bethesda here. I'm not angry with them. I'm just disappointed because they went from a company where I could not wait until the next game came out. I could not wait to see, oh man, Fallout 76, it's going to be amazing. It's going to be incredible. And they've just had a flawless track record so far. Fallout 4 wasn't really my cup of tea, but it was still a good game. And then they came out with Fallout 76, and it was just a dog shit game. It was awful. It did not work very well at launch. They've been patching it and patching it and patching it, and they've been trying to make it better and better and better. But the core fundamental gameplay, in my opinion, is just broken. This is not a Fallout 76 video. This is a Bethesda video. And they said that they knew this game would not be good at launch. They straight up said this was not going to be a high Metacritic game. They knew it was going to be bad. They act like that, oh, well, that's not that big of a deal to us. It's okay if it doesn't do that bad. That's the type of game this is. This isn't the type of game that does well. This is just going to be a low-scoring game. So you're seeing all these different things come out from Bethesda, and these two new things just add on to this pile of shit that Bethesda has done lately. And it's another company where I'm hesitant now. I'm hesitant about another company that is coming out with games. Yeah, everyone's excited about the new Elder Scrolls game. Everyone's excited about the new space game, whatever it's going to be called. Starfield? I don't know. The thing is, though, is I went from being extraordinarily excited that last E3, before Fallout 76 came out, before it's just thing after thing after thing after thing after thing, bad interviews, screwing up and having people's addresses out there, giving people fake bags with fake or, false advertising, all of these different, and then all the mobile games they showed this year. Oh, and then the release of Blades and how that is not just Elder Scrolls on the phone. It is another horrible phone game with waiting and just slow, sluggish gameplay. It's just another piece of shit cash grab. And that's what we're seeing Bethesda slowly turn into. They're becoming the next Activision. They're becoming the next EA. They're just another big corporation that a lot of people, they haven't gotten in this mindset yet. They haven't realized it yet. That's why there's so many fanboys for Fallout 76. And that's why so many people will defend it to the grave. They will die on that hill for Fallout 76 because they are still in that mindset that, oh, Bethesda, they make wonderful games. They think of the players, their games just work. But no, that's not been the case now since basically the launch of that game. It was the beginning of the end of the reputation for Bethesda. And before that, it was already kind of on shaky ground because they were blacklisting people on YouTube. They were blacklisting YouTubers, content creators, just because they're speaking their mind about how they felt about games. They had Doom. They gave out review copies like the day of because they wanted the reviewers to have, I don't know why I put air quotes around that. They wanted the reviewers to have the same experience as everybody else, whatever the hell that means. Apparently they couldn't get the game finished until the very last day. I don't know what that was about because Doom was a wonderful game, but because they weren't showing the usual, hey, here's the game in advance so you have time to play it so you can give your thoughts so players can then read multiple reviews, listen to your thoughts on something and kind of figure out, is this a game for me? But instead, they wanted people to impulse buy that game without thinking, without being able to have any prior knowledge of what reviewers thought ahead of time. And they wanted to keep it shrouded in a cloud of mystery. And that's not good for the consumer. And that was way back when. That was a long time ago. I mean, Doom came out forever ago now. So it's sad to see all these anti-criticism responses they've had. I'm probably blacklisted just by making this video, and probably all my other videos. If I ever even requested a review copy from them, they'd probably be like, are you serious? You made a video called Bethesda's a joke now. I mean, we're not going to give you anything. Which is sad because even Ubisoft, I mean, they put a shitload of microtransactions in all their games. They do all the different tropes just like everybody else. But they don't seem to blacklist people. I mean, Jim Sterling, of all people, can still get review copies from Ubisoft. That's crazy to me. But that shouldn't be crazy to me. That should be how it works in the industry. You shouldn't be picking and choosing reviewers by like, oh, well, we know that you're a safe reviewer. You're going to give us a good score. That's not okay. And the reason I'm even bringing this up is because It all adds together, and that's why Bethesda's a joke now. This is the straw that broke the camel's back. I know that this whole login issue isn't a big deal to a lot of people. I know that microtransactions are just an expected thing in video games now, but you know what? With all of the things that Bethesda's done, these little things that they've done recently have broke the camel's back. I have no respect for Bethesda anymore. I don't know how they can win my respect back, honestly. I mean, sure, you can say, hey, Fanta, well, at least they're continuing to update Fallout 76 and add new stuff to it and try to fix it. And they're adding a new map to the Battle Royale. And they're doing all these different things. They're not abandoning it like EA did with Anthem. And yes, they are doing that. That's good. They get a shred of respect for that. A shred. And it's only a shred because it should have been working. It should have been a good game at launch. I shouldn't have to give thanks to these companies for fixing their broken ass games. They should have come out fixed and working. But here we are, 2019, where all of our favorite companies are going downhill. They're being filled with microtransactions, and I hope Nintendo doesn't go down this path for consoles. They're already pumping out mobile games, and as long as they keep their terrible practices only on mobile, which they have been getting worse, and I'm sure I'll cover at some point, as long as that doesn't creep over into consoles, they're still good in my book. But my lord, they're cutting it close. They're cutting it close. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this whole Bethesda situation, what you guys think of them as a company now, if you've lost all respect for them like I have. And as always, have a fantastic day. See you guys.